So this is another video. Um, these people are gonna continuously go into ways to try to make me accept this thing. Obviously, they do these things and they know I'm not what they're trying to make me be, right? They want me to be like into teenage kids, be a pedophile. When in reality, these people actually are the pedophiles. They force you to be stimulated toward pedophiles, and I'm gonna continuously talk about that because they want me to be scared. They're like, oh, they're gonna tear your arms. Okay, they tear my arms, and I know they do the perfect type of torture. How do I know that? How? How am I aware that you guys do the perfect type of torture? Is you guys don't do the perfect type of torture? Are you sure? Are you sure, or are you just trying to? Because I know that because of that.
That I've taken, and all you are going to hear is aggravation for every single second of my privacy that you have taken away from me and my family. Then said this: the slaves began a program of perversion.
Okay, sounds
First was with my
familiar.
dog. I am very
Sounds
playful with
familiar.
my pet, and suddenly one
Does it
day that I
sound
was
familiar to
petting
you
him, I
guys?
felt strange, in the sense of the word.
Okay.
I thought, this is strange, and then
Okay.
afterwards that strange sensation continued.
Okay.
Then in that moment I realized that was
Okay.
impost, so I thought, look at
Okay.
this losers, don't know how to put me down,
Huh.
and they are doing this.
Huh.
So I told them that I know what you are trying to do,
Really?
and
Where's
I
that?
started laughing. And then I said again out loud, you'll never take my will.
Okay.
ASS. So just to show
Okay.
them that I meant what I said, I
Okay.
kept playing with my dog, and
Mm-hmm.
even though that attacks continue, I
Mm-hmm.
don't let them get me.
Okay.
Today, they continue with the programming of perversion, but this time they are aiming in the use
Okay.
of people,
People.
better said young
Young
people,
people.
also children and
Children. Huh.
homosexuals.
Hmm.
When I aggravated them, I
Okay.
usually called demeaning names, and one of
Okay.
them is referring to homosexuals. For me,
Mm-hmm.
all of the slaves are misfits,
Mm-hmm.
society haters, scumbags,
Losers. Yeah.
etc.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't have anything personal against them,
Mm-hmm.
homosexuals, but as my
Mm-hmm.
way to aggravated the slaves,
Mm-hmm.
and since they love to use children for the
Really?
torture and stalking,
Okay.
street theater, etc.,
Okay.
especially teenagers for the stalking at close range with
Okay.
an attitude, they are
Mm-hmm.
using them during my sleep in the perversion
Really?
program, and so you can imagine what the slaves of torture are pretending to do to me.
Is just a coincidence, or is that something you guys do? As I was saying, that's like how. I was like, maybe there's something about you guys doing this program perversion aiming toward children. I mean, is it just somebody randomly say that, or is it your investigative styles? You understand? They forget that just everything has been said before. How? I wonder, is it because you do that to women too? The same women that you rape constantly and do this program perversion. So you want me to be like, oh, no, 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 you guys, you know what? You guys are different. You guys are not the losers she's talking about. She's trash. It's not stop. Hold on, let me see. Is it more? Maybe some different. Let me see if perhaps there's not things that just kind of validate me in other ways. I don't know. Maybe let me see. Maybe perceptions.
I really mean extreme. I experienced an entire night with forced spontaneous orgasms repeatedly all through the night, one right after another, with maybe around 1 hour of sleep or so, as I lay immobilized in my bed in complete fear.
Mm-hmm.
This experience, along with the brain being microwaved, and
Mm-hmm.
along with some internet research, is what made me put the puzzle pieces together to realize
Mm-hmm.
that I was experiencing remote external manipulation via
Mm-hmm.
electronic weapons,
Mm-hmm.
because these symptoms of sexual assault were
Mm-hmm.
not physiologically normal
Mm-hmm.
or possible without external manipulation. It is not physiologically normal to just have repeated spontaneous orgasms all through the night
Wow,
like
so
that,
sad.
literally one right after another. And then it all made sense when I learned about microwave
Mm-hmm.
weapons. In 2015, I began to experience what some call V2K,
Mm-hmm.
or voice to skull. This involves the projection of voices, noises,
Mm-hmm.
and music directly into my mind to communicate with me in real
Okay.
time
Okay.
and at the speed of thought.
Okay.
And it also includes the manipulation of
Of
thoughts,
thoughts,
emotions, and perceptions in
perceptions.
the person's
Huh?
mind.
Really? Is it perverted?
Additionally, the targeting is all highly perverted and sexual.
Really? So you see, these people they tell me I'm going to castrate it. I'd rather get castrated. To be honest, I rather, and you hear these people try to block out and being at this war of rationality by saying, "Oh, you will scream. Yes, I will be screaming because I'll be tortured, and I'll be getting this nasty stimulation because you do the pedophilia type of torture." You guys are disgusting. This thing can go on and on and on. I mean, I will not let them live this fantasy. They do these things, and if I need to do this every
So
time,
much.
I'll do it.
I make it so dramatic. It is dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind, putting thoughts of pedophilia. This is
They're responding by, "Oh, we beat it," meaning that they're gonna beat my sense of logic with this. They're genius. No, because this technology can override rationality and consciousness. They're like, "Oh, we beat it." They're just telling themselves things to block out reality. They are at war for real, but with rationality. They have rationality. Not with me. Me is done deal. No, we beat rationality. You see, we are. I'd rather get castrated than having to dumb myself down to work for pedophiles and do these things. Shall I continue? So obviously they're doing these things now. 2 seconds ago, and by the way, let me just add to the extra. These people who beat it.
Relate the target. It can make the target feel sexual arousal,
Really?
or it can sort of turn off the target's sexuality altogether.
Okay.
It can also be used.
No, I'm sure you're gonna beat my logic, my rationality, with your genius. You understand? Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because they were bringing up things that they've messed with me with, and some of them just makes no sense. So I remember seeing this. I watched this show. His name is Mara. He traveled around the world, and let me see if I have two. Let me see. I might have another picture I want to show. So there is here. There is a. Hold on. So there's this thing where this guy, he's a traveler. He traveled all around the world, right? He have thumbnail. He travel all around the world. Has thumbnails of where he travels and everything else. And one of them was when he was in Lithuania, right? And as he goes around the world, he liked to show like the girls he's talking to around the world, the people, like. And so this is part of like people follow him. He has a large following of people watching him, and all his thumbnails he goes and talks about his life and how his interaction with women and whatever. So there's one of his uh, um, traveling video when he's traveling to Lithuania, right? And one of his thumbnail, and I'm going to show you two. The first one is this one. The second one is this one. This is the one I was looking for. And is this? You see these two girls, right? One is looking very, 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 very slim, very skinny. Now, definitely, beautiful girl, but extremely slim, almost malnourished, almost anorexic, I would say. All right, there's nothing wrong with that. And to me, I'm looking at it, it's like, oh, something's not right about this person, but there's nothing wrong, really. And there's two of them, and this is the thumbnail, right? So you look at that, it's like, oh, she's just a young person. I'm not gonna guess people age immediately. Like I'm looking at her, I think she's young. I don't know how young, but she's young. I'm guessing if he shows her on the thumbnail, she's just some young adult, but she's very skinny. She's not, let's just say that I will not find her as somebody that will make me stimulated. And she looks really young, but it's very skinny. Now I'm looking at it as like, okay, whatever. Finding out he asked her age, and she's only 17 years old. That's why she looks so skinny. And after saying her age, they start stimulating me. They like literally start stimulating. I did not have any stimulation for her. I didn't find her stimulating in that way. But because they have this control of my libido and everything, they start stimulating me. They're like, oh, now, like, what did she guess right? I mean, come on. Like, I'm gonna look at her. I'm just gonna say she's young, maybe like 18, 19, like and she's 17. She's still she's a kid. But And here there's another picture now. I just saw where they try to create more sexual perception on this one. And let me go there. And they try to like make me feel nervous about it. She's super skinny. I'm sorry. Oh, okay, let me see. Oh, and they try to like create stimulation. Give me a second. Oh, no, she's a kid. She's 17 years old. Very pretty, but she's a kid, and she will not give me like any stimulations naturally. They're forcing me to stimulate me toward her. She's too skinny. She look like this anorexic like model kind like skin. Like it's just not for me. It's not me naturally. And then like we see that's proof. And mind you, this is just a thumbnail. Like I'm supposed to be like, oh, what? Like I'm supposed to look at this and like, oh my gosh. No, I look at her as like she's one of the young people he found that he met there. And I'm supposed to be like, oh my gosh. But the thing that's nasty is not that I just think that is what happened after she says her age. After she say her age and says her age is only 17, these people start stimulating me because she's underage. This is what they do. And they want you to accept this. They literally start stimulating me for the sole purpose because she's an underage kid. Now, guessing her age, maybe it might be like I might just think like just young adults, like between 17 and 19. That's the kind of age group I would give her, right? I like around there. But the fact that it's because she's 17, they start giving me sexual stimulation shows how disgusting they are, and they're like, oh, they're gonna castrate you, and they want you to be nervous about these things. They literally stimulate you toward children. This case, because I found out she's a child, they start stimulating me just for that. It was disgusting. It's disgusting. Now, it's one thing to be able to get somebody here. I could give an age range for this. I can like 17 to 19 there between that age range. I can give that. If I'm off a little bit, that's okay. But the thing that's disgusting is they then force me to be stimulated sexually toward this kid because she's underage. Now, of course, they've done that too. Like I made a video about the squirrel look, 15-year looking compressed thing. So her is not as bad, but the shocking part of this is how they have no shame to stimulate me just after she says her age. When initially I'm like, oh, okay, she's like very skinny, like this, and I thought all these Lithuanian people just look a little off, like a little too much on the anorexic side. Now I'm not here to body shame anybody. And the reason why she's so skinny is because she's a kid, and they're trying to make me like, oh, you want her? Like, no, now you're stimulating me just because she's 17, just because she's a child. This this trying to get me to be stimulated. The other picture is like where she's posing a little bit so they can create a little bit more of stimulation. Like it's so sad. Oh, they're stimulating so much right now. But doing their best to make me stimulate toward this kid who's damn near anorexic. Now there's nothing wrong with her. And but to force me to be sexually stimulated toward her just because she's a child, this shows how nasty they are. I know who I am. First of all, I was not stimulated initially, but then I get stimulation because she says her age. Now, did I guess her age to be 17? No, I guess like I thought more like 17 to 19, around that age, like maybe closer to 19. But then finding out she's 17, then they start to sexually stimulate me. And they're like, oh, we beat. No, that's what you do. You do these things.
Agencies that handle sensitive information.
Manipulate the target. It can make the target feel sexual arousal, or it can sort of turn off the target's sexuality altogether.
Or these things.
That I've taken, and all you are going to here is aggravation. for every single second of my privacy that you have taken away from me and my family. Ben said this the slaves began a program of perversion. First was with my dog. I am very playful with my pet, and suddenly one day that I was petting him I felt strange, in the sense of the word. I thought, this is strange, and then afterwards that strange sensation continue. Then in that moment I realized that was impost, so I thought, look at this losers, don't know how to put me down, and they are doing this. So I told them that I know what you are trying to do, and I started laughing, and then I said again out loud, you'll never take my will, ASS, so just to show them that I meant what I said, I kept playing with my dog, and even though that attacks continue, I don't let them get me. Today, they continue with the programming of perversion, but this time they are aiming in the use of people, better said young people, also children and homosexuals. When I aggravated them, I usually called demeaning names, and one of them is referring to homosexuals. For me, all of the slaves are misfits, society haters, scumbags, etc. No, I don't have anything personal against them, homosexuals, but as my way to aggravate the slaves, and since they love to use children for the torture and stalking, street theater, etc. Especially teenagers for the stalking at close range with an attitude, they are using them during my sleep in the perversion.
Do you understand? So, it's doing this to somebody like this. And the sad part is, they instead of doing it before, they did it after she told me her age. After she told her age. And I'm taking this picture because the other one is more manipulative because she's posing and try to be more model like. But here you can truly see her. You see, this is damn near anorexic. I'm sorry, I don't like. They make me be like insultive to these people. I don't want to. There's nothing wrong with this girl. But what's wrong is them forcing me to be stimulating me toward these kids. This is the case where I didn't even know her age, right? I thought she's young, she's 17, 19-year old. He's on his thumbnail, he's traveling the world, he met one of them, and that's that. Oh, after she said she was 17 years old, stimulation, bam, sexual arousal, bam, perception, just bam, just like start things, just if you hear her talk, it's like even more like, oh my gosh. But at least I have these videos are like, at least as much as they try to manipulate me, I can be like, listen, this is what they do. Thumbnails sometimes can be a bit, thumbnails, they just take the best picture, they look at, the angles, things are different. It's actually videos. In the thumbnails, you can make yourself look, like you can see she paused, but you see her even talking in person is more childlike. But this is not the worst. This at least she can be between 17 and 19. This scroll thing, the compressing, is like a 15-year-old kid. No doubt. No doubt. And actually, truthfully, I'm a little bit. It's better that she's obvious child because even if they manipulate me however they want, I'll just remember this is no way possible. There's no way she's just a freaking compressed little kid. Like, not compressed, she's just a compressed thing. Just look like a little scroll. So to make me subscribe to this, every time this happens, like, oh, we're gonna castrate you. Oh, castrate. No. Regardless of what happened to me, castrate, tortured, killed, ripped up, you guys do these pedophilia things and you want people to subscribe to this. And to me, they're like, oh, I remember in 2014, you felt you have no shame. And now they force me to be stimulated on people, even when I thought they were adults or thought they were maybe young adults. I was not getting any stimulation. I was like, oh, whatever. And then, 17, boop, stimulations. So, should I ignore that they do this program perversion and believe these ways they want me to believe to subscribe to their reality? These people who do this peripheral type of torture and accept that this is just me organically, as if they don't do the peripheral type of torture. Of course, it's not gonna happen. You're not at war. There's too much validations. You can beat my brain. Of course, my brain is hooked to this technology that can rewire them and manipulate in a logic that is nonsensical. But it's obvious that you guys manipulate people in a sexual matter toward children. At least this is not the worst. This is somebody who can actually be 17, 19, can be. But the sad thing is, you stimulate me after after she says her age, just to do this pedophilia thing, this persona thing. So it's not war. You guys are pedophiles. These people have done horrible things to people and do things to make people believe that there's something else. You gotta be strong. And they talk about how I'm gonna be ripped up as if this is validation. What are you? You think this is gonna change anything? Me getting tortured is not gonna change the fact that you guys do the pedophilia type of torture, and if everybody knows, this is what this. It's just delusional. And they're like, no, but we're this feminist group. No, you're not. You're trash. So sad. So to all my target individual, this is non-stop. That's why I make these videos, because the day come when I cannot speak about it, I'll just be okay that I've made sure that I left enough testimonials. So as I talk about it right now, they talk about how they're gonna frame me, and I'm concerned because somebody's gonna frame, somebody's gonna tell me. Listen, this is the people who try to tell you who you are, because they researched and analyzed that now we're gonna frame you, and that's proof. Target individuals, do not subscribe to this trash. They are trash. They're trashing you, and they will be reimbursed properly. So stay strong.